Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist. And I haven't been on here to talk too much about political things in a few days, but something I want to make sure I touch on real quick. Segregation. There are some people calling for segregation again. Now, here's what it's been some black folks over the years who said we should have segregation again. We fared better. I want y'all to make sure you understand how history looks before you say that. History shows that we can sustain our own, but the things that occurred to destroy it, oh, they would happen again. I'm going to need the white Americans, particularly who actually support segregation, to understand exactly what that means. Y'all don't really want that. Because, see, when that was the case, you were so envious and jealous of the fact that black folks thrived that you destroyed hundreds of communities. Tulsa, Oklahoma, the worst massacre. We're not going to call it a race riot. We're going to stop doing that. It wasn't a race riot. It was a massacre. Bronzeville, Chicago. Hyde-Durham, North Carolina. The Jackson Ward District of Richmond, Virginia. Central Park, New York. Seneca Village. Oscarville, Georgia. Sweet Auburn, Atlanta. All these places, plus so many more, in which you either destroyed them or you built a lake over them. Lake Lanier is built over Oscarville, Georgia. This is why so much bad happens at that lake. You can't just go having fun over people's burial site. On any note, though, take into account the other things that segregation would mean and the things it would cause. Let's say sports was segregated and you had all black teams and all white teams. How do you think those all white teams would fare against those all black teams? What if the Super Bowl had been a segregated Super Bowl? And when you consider the fact, because if we're going to go back to throwback history, we also got to go back to the part where one drop meant you were black. So Patrick Mahomes, he'd be over on the black side. No matter how light you are. If you can't fully pass, your ass is going to the black side. So, you see, this wouldn't be the flex or the good idea that y'all might think it is. What if black musical artists said, cool, that means y'all can't listen to our music no more, it's only for us. Imagine that. Imagine if it was really segregated. Do you genuinely believe that white America would fare well? You have to think about things before you go popping off at the mouth saying that this is what you want. That ain't really what you want. You haven't really considered how that would look. And the thing is, the only reason, if we look back at history, the only reason so many black people back in the day, back during civil rights, fought for integration, those who fought for integration, the only reason they did is because separate but equal was BS. We were separate, but it wasn't equal. But if you put everybody on equal playing fields, everybody has all the good stuff, the good books at school and the good everything, do you really think that we wouldn't fare well? Because I think that's what you think, those who are calling, specifically the white folks who want segregation again. You think we would fail. Did we fail in the past? And those towns I mentioned, they weren't just the black side of town. No, they were thriving cities and towns. Places like Tulsa and Bronzeville and all of those places, they had hospitals, hotels, churches, schools. They were self-contained. They did not need outside assistance, period. The reason they got destroyed is because of y'all jealousy and envy that it was thriving and a lot of times doing better than some of the white areas in those same places. But you want segregation. Are you sure? Don't think you fully understand what that would mean. But let's test out the theory. I personally don't think it's a great idea, even for black folks. I don't think it's a great idea. I used to. I used to be one of those people that was like, let's segregate again. But the more I thought about it, I'm like, you destroyed us before when we tried it. So it ain't really worth it. Yes, it may bring unity among us, But then again, it might not, because black folks can't agree on nothing either, it seems. But yeah, I want y'all to consider the ramifications of what segregation right now would mean. Imagine if we rolled it back and said, okay, everything we contributed, give it back. If black people did it, it is ours. You'd have to give up the White House. Hell, it was built by these color hands. So yeah, I don't think y'all really thought it through. And if they really do it, we'll really see. I know that people tend to neglect Martin Luther King's speech in which he said, I fear I integrated my people into a burning house, when he started to realize integration was not the answer. However, it's done now. And for y'all's sake, you better hope it stay that way, because if they choose to segregate again now in 2025, I don't think it would be what y'all think it would be. What you think is it would destroy black communities and we wouldn't be able to survive. Do you know how much we've survived in this country, on this land? Do you know how much our ancestors survived? The land is literally built off of their blood, sweat, and tears. So don't ever think that we wouldn't survive it, and survive it to the point of thriving and succeeding. But make sure you know what you asking for those of y'all who want it so bad. Specifically the white people who want it so bad. I think black people who want it, they are looking at it as an ideal utopian type of thing where we would all have no choice but to unify and band together. But I'm a little shaky on that given some of y'all mindsets. The thing is, you can't think that that would survive if you have now taken on the mindset of colonization, which is individuality, which is I'm only worried about me. Unless you have a collectivist mindset, segregation wouldn't work the way you think it would. But yeah, I want y'all to consider all of that and then decide if that's what you really want. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will holler at y'all later.